Egypt is the only country that has two teams in the knockout stages of the second-tier CAF Confederation Cup. Besides veteran club Zamalek, Modern Future made it to the quarterfinals for the first time in only their second appearance in the competition.
This is the second appearance in a row for Future. They failed to advance from the group stage last year on their first appearance. This year it appears they have gained some experience to advance as runners-up in a tough group that was led by USM Algiers and included Libya's Al Hilal Benghazi and Supersport United from South Africa. This is quite a success for Modern Future. They may not reach the final if they face Zamalek and Morocco's RS Berkane.
After a leadership crisis that saw the White Knights' entire board sacked, Zamalek is once again standing on strong ground. Hussein Labib replaced the club's old president, the controversial Murtada Mansour, bringing back sponsors' trust in the five-time African champions. That poured in the much-needed finances, which the club has used to bring in new players and a coaching team. They're now eyeing a second Confederation Cup title.
Zamalek
is the stronger Egyptian team in the competition this year. They struggled in the early stages with Colombian coach Juan Osorio leading the team. When coach Muhammad Gamal came, Zamalek boomed. They appeared strong, technical skills developed, and they managed to advance. Zamalek now is desperate to lift continental trophies, to make it up to the fans after the poor performances in the past months. The club's new board brought new players and are pushing them to win this year.
Egypt's legacy in the Confederation Cup is weak. The country won the title only twice. Continental champions Al Ahly won it once in 2014 and Zamalek won the second title in 2019. The only significant achievement since was in 2020 when Pyramids FC ended the season as runners-up.
The 2023-2024 CAF Confederation Cup draw this week will define many of the chances Egyptian's team have to win a title this year. Will Zamalek be able to lift their second trophy in the competition, or will the rising Modern Future surprise the continent? Adil Mahroui, CGTN, Cairo.
Right, let's get more on the CAF Champions League and Confederation Cup ahead of the knockout stage draw next week. We're now joined by CGTN's Leon Senyange, who speaks to us live from Kampala, Uganda. Leon, glad to have you tonight. Tanzania has two clubs in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. How significant is this for the country and for East African football in general?
Well, definitely that is a very huge achievement for the region, but you really have to dig deep into the files to know when exactly East Africa or the CAF region itself had two teams at this particular stage in the competition, and that is 2015, the Sudanese clubs Al Ahly and Al Hilal rather, and El Merreikh being in the same situation that now the Tanzanian clubs Simba and Yanga are in. But it speaks much to the growth of football in the region, and specifically for these two clubs that have year in, year out, at least over the last 3 or 4 years, have pushed and knocked hard to be among the top 8 clubs on the continent. So for the region CECAFA, it says a lot about the potential that there could be for the clubs, but a lot more to do beyond just these two that have taken this stage on the continent.
Right, and Leon, this year's group stage has seen shock exits such as that of 2022 winners Wydad Casablanca. Now, with all the regions represented in the last 8, what does this say about the competitiveness of the elite club competition?
Well, African football and this particular stage, the inter-club competition is probably one of the toughest that you'd have anywhere in football. And it speaks a lot about the structures and the stages that clubs actually have to go through to reach the final stage, the final 8, maybe the semi-finals, even still the finals. And it takes a lot of grit for these clubs to make it to this stage. But there's been growth for several clubs across the board, and this comes with the changes in administration, in particular football associations, access to finance, and the strategies that the clubs have had and also still the football associations have hard in trying to push the agenda of growth and being competitive. Several years ago, it was very difficult to have Tanzanian clubs at this particular stage competing. A few years ago, Uganda's KCCA also punched its way through to the knockouts, to a bit of the knockout stages they're in, and it says a lot about what is anticipated for the clubs in the region, both from the north and the southern part. The West Africans have consistently been there, but of course the differences therein are in terms of administration, strategy, and finance.
Right, and let's now talk about the CAF Confederation Cup. Which of the last 8 teams have caught your eye this year?
Well, in itself, the CAF Confederations Cup has been an exciting competition therein. And of course, Abu Salem of Libya was one of those clubs that I tried to follow. It knocked out Uganda's KCCA in the second round. But for me, one particular team that has caught my eyes, Dreams FC of Ghana. They only got promoted to the Ghana Premier League in 2015. And within this particular time now, are making their first competition in the inter-club club competitions and have progressed to the quarterfinals of the Confederations Cup. Their journey has been interesting, defeating Milo FC of Guinea, though they quite concede a lot, Kalon FC of Sierra Leone, and now the group stages where they picked out 4 wins and 2 losses, topped that group as well. Definitely, this is a dream that they're entirely living, and like their slogan goes, still believe. Definitely, there's a lot of belief in this particular club, potentially to even still make it to the final.
All right, Leon, thank you very much for speaking to us on Sports Scene tonight. CGTN's Leon Senyange joining us live there from Kampala. Well, the quarterfinal draw for the 2023-2024 CAF Champions League and CAF Confederation Cup will, as we mentioned earlier, be conducted on Tuesday, the 12th of March in Cairo. Let's have a look at the last 8 teams in each of the competitions.